Welcome, everybody. It's Monday again. Thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations. I am your host, the laid back, down to earth life coach, Aisha Israel. And
we are the hosts of Candid Conversations.
Hi, I'm Saucy Sunny.
Dawn B.
Aisha Israel.
Welcome to Candid Conversations.
Girl talk.
Girl talk.
Girl talk.
All girl talk.
Ready for Candid Conversations.
We are ready to get started.
Are you?
Good evening, everybody. It is Monday again. Thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations. So tonight we are doing something that we've never done before on Candid Conversations. We are having team talk. So what sparked this is our boss chick this evening happens to be a teenager, a very special teenager. She happens to have earned her master's degree at the age of 14. So I was blown away, thrown back when I heard about the fact that she was so young and had earned her master's degree. I think it's already amazing for a young person to have earned a college degree, but a master's degree. So that means that she's gotten more than one degree already, and she's only 14. Oh, my bad. She just had a birthday, so she's 15 now. So we thought it would be good to have a panel of teens on this evening. And I know you've heard me talk over the course of this past year about my daughter, who is a teenager. Well, I have a daughter who's a teenager, a son who's a teenager, and a son who is no longer a teenager because he is 21. But I thought I asked her if she would be willing to come on and be a panelist this evening. And then she went ahead and asked some of her friends and cousins if they would also join the panel. So I think that it's going to be a good night tonight. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen, what's going to come up this. So if you have any questions while we're doing this, of course, as always, put your comments in the chat. If you have questions for any of us, put those in the chat. You can ask me, you can ask any of the other mothers that are on the panel, but especially ask the teens. We want to hear what they have to say. We are giving them a voice. We're giving them a platform. We want to be respectful and be there to support them as they need. So I will say this, because DJ Tillman is in high demand. And when I say high demand, I mean she has been on daytime talk shows, nighttime talk shows, and I don't know, newspaper articles galore. So she was not able to join us this evening. I had to do my interview in advance. So what you're going to see is a pre-recorded interview, but that doesn't make it any less special. So hold tight. And next up is DJ Tillman. Okay, so it's very exciting to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, do you want me to call you Dorothy or DJ? Or...
It's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay, what do people normally call you?
Most people call me DJ.
Do they? Okay. All right, so you've been in the news a lot lately.
Yeah.
How does it feel? I mean, you are a teenager, a young lady.
Honestly, it doesn't feel that crazy. Like, it doesn't feel that crazy to be like out loud. People would be like, "Oh my gosh, like this is you," when they see me in the elevators. Like it doesn't feel like that sort of like a thing like to me.
Okay. And so I have to ask, how in the world does a 14-year-old earn a master's degree?
Well, I started doing dual enrollment courses. By the time I was from a very young age, I was gifted. I was gifted in programs, and I started doing dual enrollment typically when I was 9 going on 10. And from there on, I got my associate's degree. That was my dual enrollment, my college programs. And
Wow.
then 10 to 12, I was working on my bachelor's in humanities. From 12 to 14, I got my master's in environmental science.
Nice. Nice. And so how did you have, I mean, I know you say you tested gifted. I tested gifted and I didn't do all of that. So, are you sure you're not a genius? Have you been tested for that?
Honestly, when it comes to like getting like tested for things, my family personally, and me myself, I was never like the one to be like, oh, let's take these tests or this quiz here, this quiz there. I was never really a quiz person to begin with. I'm kind of just like make sure I know the word, get the homework in, whatever type of person.
Right.
Like I was a great test taker, but I never really took a lot of quizzes that were like, oh, another gifted kids test or anything like that.
Got it. Yeah, usually it comes from an instructor that says, let's see, because the things that we're doing, you're moving too fast through them. I know when I was going through school, they tested me in the 5th grade, but they wanted to skip me to 7th grade, but my parents were like, nah, they didn't want me around junior high kids at the time. So it usually comes from somebody in the school system. I don't know that parents are typically like, let's get her tested. But that's really cool. So it's absolutely clear that this is not an honorary degree, right? You earned every bit of
Yes.
it. Awesome. So when did your parents know to do that? Like, how did they know at 9 for you to start taking, or earlier than 9 for you to start taking college courses?
Well, yes, my mom, like from a very young age, like literally baby, like fresh out the womb, I didn't cry when I came out, looking around, turning my head, like lifting up, trying to move around a lot. And she was so smart. She like knew when I was very young. And it's like, every parent believes their child is gifted. If you put them in the right positions, they
Yeah.
will become they'll grow into their full potential. And a lot of kids didn't have the resources, didn't have the mom that I had who knew this thing or that thing, this thing, in ways to accelerate me. And so she knew since I was like a young, very baby, like getting flashcards and things like that, and working through like sentences with me, barely like going on 1 and 2, trying to get me in as soon as possible to different schools and stuff. She had always thought that I was like super smart since I was young, put me in bunches of programs. And when I like went through them and like kind of passed through them with like flying colors, she started to like give me more and more resources that she could.
Awesome. So resources. I wonder if maybe, do you know what those resources are, or should I contact your mom and find out what they are? Maybe, you know what I mean, to be able to share with other parents who think that their children could use them.
Yeah, it's definitely like a very long, strenuous process, the way you have to do it, because there's a lot to go about and there's a lot of people to go through. There's lots
Okay.
because a lot of kids my age at 14 don't have a school ID or don't have a state ID. A lot of
Right.
kids by 17 don't even have a state ID, and you need that to even get into the college programs. And so there's lots of things and steps that you would need to take,
Yeah.
that we're planning out in future projects for everyone to have.
Okay.
But the second we have like all of that together, we'll definitely send it to you so you can be the first to let everybody.
Okay. Sounds good to me. And I know that you mentioned your mom had these resources. Now, are there other highly gifted people in your family? I mean, that
Uh,
would
Well, when it comes to me and my family, the way my granny raised us all, because we were all like granny babies. My granny has 8 grandchildren, including me, but 5 of us are really close because we're like closer in age. And we were always like around each other and stuff, and so we are like always hanging. They're all like super smart. A lot of people, when they're mistaken, is they think that, oh, well, if she can do it, everybody can. And it's not that
yeah.
everybody isn't smart enough, but it might be that everybody doesn't want to leave school. Some people just want to go hang out with their friends. Even in COVID, there's different programs where they might be on school this day or this day, and they might be with their friends and say, "Hey, 6 feet apart." But some people need that interaction, and I personally didn't. So all of my cousins are incredibly smart. Mother graduated high school at 16. My grandmother graduated high school very young.
Okay.
Dr. King in civil rights, and she's the Honorable Dorothy. So, education and intelligence is kind of instilled in us from a young age. Like we come with natural high intelligence. We are motivated through academics from a very young age, and so it kind of like I guess it does come naturally to me, all of my closest cousins and family members.
Okay, so it does come naturally, and that was going to kind of be my next question. Since you mentioned your grandmother, the Honorable Dorothy Tillman, the civil rights activist that we all know and love so well, I wanted to know, did you feel obligated to follow in her footsteps? But you said it comes naturally, so does that mean to say that you didn't feel obligated? It was just something that was just a part
Well,
of.
the thing about it, when it comes to feeling obligated to do something, is even if she was an incredible civil rights activist and she does so much for our community and has done so much for our community, because I live in the third ward, we have our whole lives,
Yes.
Bronzeville and Chicago, and so even if I had that intelligence already instilled and came naturally, feeling like I have something to live up to is kind of a choice, regardless of if not. If I want to stay in regular school, go on a very like regular cookie cutter made out for me path, I could have done that, and it wouldn't have made a difference because I would have still had just as bright of a future and have made just as big impacts in some way. Because the college thing doesn't define me because there's more after that. There's working with children and there's helping kids and there's teaching kids in STEAM and indigenous kids that may not have those type of resources, and it's making the conscious decision to continue to help other people and not just letting one accolade define what's going on or like
Yes.
any obligation.
Absolutely. So I know when I was speaking to your mom, is she your manager?
I mean, I guess you would say that she's a momager. She has been my whole life, but it's not like we like, oh, contractor, like you might be fired the next day, like because she's my mom.
Well, I know when I was speaking to her, she mentioned that you are an entrepreneur as well. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I am the CEO and founder of the Dorothy Jean STEAM Leadership Institute. Right now, we're working on a little show for Women's History Month. Really
Yes.
incredible. All of our counselors, we employ about 15 young boys and girls from about ages 16 and up to work for our kids. And during the year, we kind of work on different STEAM projects. Right now, we're working on a STEAM competition for kids ages 8 to 13 and then ages 14 to 19. So there's like two divisions at
Okay.
com. And so they're obviously working on that very hard. We had an incredible Black History Month show and filmed all the tutorials for our STEAM kids. So basically, everything that we do at camp, our 8-week camp that's over the summer, we decided to put it all into a box, a little kit, to ship to kids all over the world as far as Cape Town, South Africa. And we recorded different modules and tutorials and course trainings from our online website. So
Wow.
we're working on a lot of stuff at all times. Our counselors are incredible, and so that's kind of
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, tell me again the website because you kind of went in and out.
it's dorothyjeans.com, DorothyJean.com.
Is there an S at the end of the
Yes, it's JEANIUS.
IUS? Dorothy Genius. I like it. .com. Okay. And so you have all of this going on. It's amazing. I can say sitting here, I mean, my daughter's 14. I don't feel like I'm talking to my daughter. I feel like I'm talking to another adult, which is kind of just mind blowing. But I wanted to know, with all that you have going on, do you ever have time to just be an ordinary kid?
I don't think what I'm doing makes me unordinary. I think it makes me unique, but I don't think it makes me unordinary. It's kind of like a fine line to walk, but I do feel like they're different. And so when it comes to me and other kids my age, of course, there's a lot that we have to learn from each other. Like, for instance, I've made friends that were my age after a long time of only having friends that were older than me. And I learned lots of things about myself and the way I should react in different situations or things that they might be going through, things that might be changing in their life that are slightly different in mine because of my circumstances. And so when I'm around people that are my specific age and my peers, it still kind of feels like, it still kind of feels like we're both intelligent and there's something that we both have to gain from like the conversations and interactions. But when it comes to being like a quote unquote like ordinary kid, what I would just say was like unique. I still go to dance. I have my team, I'm Happiness Club and Blue Rhythm Creative, like a teen, and all my instructors are incredible. I paint, I write poetry. I like listening to new music and like finding new artists. I like scrolling on my phone just like every other kid. I just went to the App Store and got it fixed. Like it's nothing kind of like crazy or anything. I am an ordinary kid. Instead of going to school every day, I go to work, Instead of doing essays for like English class, I do essays for my book. It's kind of things like that.
Love it. Okay. And so you go to sleepovers and go shopping at the mall and amusement parks?
Yeah, I mean, my birthday's coming up. We're doing like fun stuff for that. I'm having my friends over. Like we're renting out a movie theater. We're doing what would be like normal kid things where I go to the mall, like I go out of town and visit my family and such. Well, a little bit more before COVID. But things like that, I still always do. I go and I hang out at my best friend's house. Nothing like that has changed.
That's awesome. And the reason I ask you that is just so that when other teenagers are watching, they don't think that it's something that they can't attain or they're going to give up so much to be able to accomplish those goals that might seem, early. Now, what else was I going to ask you? Because we're getting ready to wrap it up. Oh, I heard that you are doing talk shows as well, in addition to mine, of course. What other talk shows have you been on or been invited to?
Yes, so me and my Dorothy G and STEAM camp, we were just featured on the Weather Channel here in Chicago, and so that was incredible. It's going to be streamed in a bunch of different places. The lady who came so incredible. We did our dances. We filmed experiment things like that. I just filmed for the Kelly Clarkson show, which is super exciting. On the 22nd of March, and so that is crazy exciting. Different like talk shows and things are always like something new and exhilarating, and it's never like the exact same answer. Even if the questions are a little similar, it's like a little flair that I have every different interview. That's a little something.
Yes. Well, I can say this has been exciting. I honestly, you are, I'm going to say, the only 14-year-old that I know with a master's degree. And I mean, this is so exciting. And I also am going to show this to my daughter so that she can, have some inspiration and someone to look up to that's her age. She's a freshman at Shy Arts.
Oh.
And her grades are good. I think they have a lot of classes. She's got
I have a couple of friends that go there, and I'm like, I talk to them, and I'm just like, I know Shy Arts is like a tough school because I've had friends that went there before, like this freshman year, and then friends that just got there, and I know. Like,
yes.
What does she go to Shy Arts for? Like, what's her Shy Arts major?
Musical theater.
Oh, okay. We love musical theater over here. My family goes to Washington Cultural Center, so musical theater.
Yes, well, we're trying to get her over there. It's just like I said, she has 11 classes and she looks forward to sleeping these days.
Yeah, I definitely would too. I know when I used to get home from doing class online, I would be knocked out. So I know how it goes, especially with 11 classes. Usually it's like 8 or something that they have.
Something like that, yeah, but she's got a lot because she's got, her academic classes during the
and then her like extra. Yeah.
And they have a lot. So that's good. Did you have any questions for me or any statements you'd like to make to any young budding entrepreneurs or young, highly gifted children out there, or people who are wondering if they might be highly gifted and what they can do? Just anything before we say goodbye.
For children who feel like they're moving at a faster pace than the people around them, because I'm not gonna like lie and say like even if there are kids my age that I feel like I'm on the same intellectual level with, there are lots of them that I know for a fact that and I know that there's a lot of kids my age out there that are ignorant to a lot of things that are going on and ignorant to a lot of things in general. And so when it comes to those people, you kind of have to show them some grace and show them some like peace and try and educate them. But if you can't, don't give your all and like drain yourself trying to help people who don't want to be helped. And when it comes to like being an entrepreneur, you can start at any age. Don't let anybody tell you no. And always like try your best to find your team. Like it's gonna be hard because everybody doesn't have your best interest at heart. And even sometimes it's hard to like find family that's gonna work the best with you, because that things like that are hard sometimes. And so just always have your plan laid out and then figure out, okay, what are the steps to get me here, here, and here. And if anything, join my business pitch competition. We might be able to help you with a thing or two with that. So, it's kind of just about having the plan and not letting anybody knock you off your path. And if that does happen to like go down, finding your way back without needing a guiding hand and still knowing that if you do need one, it's okay.
Absolutely. I think even in my age, we know that it takes a village. I mean, and that's just in business, in life in general. Well, I have had a blast talking to you. I can
Yeah, this
say
has been
that
great.
in addition to being highly intelligent, you are wise beyond your years, and I'm just impressed all the way around. So I wish you the best in in your continued endeavors, your entrepreneurship, your academics, all of that. You're doing a great job, and I am proud of you. And just keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. Well, I will talk to you later, and I'm gonna check in on you and see how things are going. All right.
Okay.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Thanks. All right. Can you see us? Okay. This is my first time doing that, so a pre-recorded. But I would like to introduce to you all my daughter, the teenager, Maya, and I am getting ready to introduce to you the rest of our panel this evening. So first up, let's see who we have. We have Sydney Ruther. Hi, Sydney. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Would you like to tell the people how old you are?
I'm 14.
You're 14. Are you ready for this evening?
Yes.
You ready to answer questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Next up, we have Sunny and Sydney, number 2, I guess. Can you see us?
Yes. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
We're good.
That's good. Sydney, would you like to tell the people how old you are?
I am 14.
Another 14-year-old. 2 Sydneys, both 14. Very cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Maya, how old are you?
I'm 14.
Maya's 14 as well. So we have a lot of 14-year-olds this evening. Let's see who else we have waiting in the waiting room. Good evening. And what's your name, young lady? Hello there. Oh, you're muted.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. How are you? Zaria?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Would you like to tell everyone how old you are?
I'm 17. And
17.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. What were you, like, I don't know, 10 when I met you? So little. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, hi to all the moms. Zakia, that is Zaria's mom. Sunny, that's Sydney's mom. And Sydney Ruther's mom is in the house, but she's not able to chat with us right now. She's a hardworking entrepreneur. All right, so I'm sure if she hears Sydney say something, she'll chime in. Something she wants to add to. All right, so I will tell you all how we normally do Girl Talk is we have a collection of questions, scenarios, and memes, and I give people an opportunity to choose one at a time. So, but tonight we don't have any memes, but we do have questions and scenarios. However, we're not going to choose. We're just going to kind of go in order just because We have a lot of questions, very few scenarios, and we're going to try to get to all of them if we can. So, Sydney, would you like to go first, or would you like me to start with Sunny and Sydney? I'm talking to Sydney that's by herself.
It's fine if I go first.
You said what?
It's fine if you go first.
It's fine to go first? All right. Let's see what we have. Okay. First up, it says, what qualities are important in a best friend? That's a pretty simple question, so we'll get you started with that.
I'm not going to speak for everybody. I'm only going to speak for myself. But for me, I feel somebody that's genuine, like somebody that's my actual friend, somebody who cares about me.
How can you tell if they care? Like, what makes them genuine? How do you determine that?
Usually, like, Maya's not my friend, but I'll call her and I'll check up on her, just to show her that I care. Like, I'll call her and say, hey, how you doing? Would you eat for dinner? Just checking on her just to let her know that I care.
She's not your friend.
I know.
No, you said she's not your friend. I had a question mark on there. She's not your friend?
No, she's family.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that for the audience. Like, she's not my friend, but I call her and check on her. They're first cousins. All right. So would anybody else like to chime in and add to that? That was a really good response. I agree with you. People should be genuine and show that they care. Otherwise, yeah.
I feel like somebody who you know is going to be there with you for a while.
Oh, longevity?
Yeah. Nothing.
Did you want to say something? I agree. Longevity. Don't be shy, guys. Come on. Oh, someone in the chat says, speak a little louder, please. So I'm not sure. Speak up. Don't be shy, guys.
Big girl voices.
All right. Did any other teenagers want to chime in before we move on to the next question or scenario? Nope. We're all good? Oh, okay. Maya wants to talk.
I think you have to I guess show trust. I think you obviously need to trust one another and be able to come to one another for anything if you're best friends. Okay, that's it.
Okay. So be genuine, show you care, be able to be trusted, and hang around for a while. Yeah? Okay. Well, we got to get some energy up in here. Okay. All right. Who's next? So that was Sydney Ruther. Okay. We're going to go to Sydney M. Sydney, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. It says, what is the highest movie or TV rating your parents allow you to watch?
Occasionally, 13 and up, but if I'm alone, it's got to be PG.
If you're alone.
If I'm alone, I got to watch kid shows.
Okay.
Back to back.
I got it. So I have a question when it comes to that. So how does your mom know that you stick to PG when she's not around?
I guess because I don't really have any interest in watching stuff, and I guess trust. She's just got to trust me that I won't watch stuff without her.
Okay. So you guys have a trusting relationship. That's cool. All right. Does anybody find that rare among moms and teens? You guys gonna make me play some music or something. Come on now.
Come on.
Talk. It's a talk. It's a talk.
I also have restrictions on the phone,
Oh yeah.
and I can rate things, so that helps out. School computer, I can't do that too, but I'm hoping
They have stuff on there.
Okay, yeah.
What do you mean by stuff? Like they have?
Like, there's certain videos on YouTube
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah.
like some of them are even like Minecraft videos or something, and some people playing video games, which is like if I'm eating food and I want to watch something on my computer,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
But I can watch like educational videos and
Right.
baby videos.
Mhm.
You know, the
You
boring
said
stuff.
baby videos. Okay. Well, anybody else? Does anybody else have a different rating that their parents allow them to watch?
Where my mom is not really like, you know, my mom trusts me to do the right thing. So it's like, you know, I don't have restrictions on my phone. You know, I have social media. You know, so it's like with the movie thing. I mean, it's a movie, so it's like if I watch it, I watch it. It's just a movie, so.
Wow, we got a panel full of perfect kids. All right, Zaria,
That's good. Like,
you're older, so it might
Yeah,
be
I don't
different.
really have many restrictions as far as like movies and all that stuff. But when I was younger, like social media wise, like growing up, I wasn't able to have a Facebook. But like I got so used to like not having one, I don't want one, and I don't know how to work it. Nor do I know how to work Twitter. So I'm like the grandma when it comes to my friends. I got everything else though. But for the most part, I really kind of chill, so it's not really.
Well, tell me about the movies, like how you and your friends watch the movies together, like they do.
Oh, so like, well, with like COVID and stuff, my senior class, like my friend group, they'll come over here and we'll do homework together and play cards and watch movies in the front room, I guess you'd say. But we don't really have restrictions on like the actual movies that we watch. We just kind of like, we kind of know better by now. So.
No, when you all watch the movies together.
Okay.
I heard
So
they said everybody's movie a rating.
You said what?
No, I was telling her, her friends, they do like a little movie thing. It's an app that they use where they share watching the movie. It's like a book club or something.
Oh, like on Zoom. We on Zoom you can share screens, so we'll just make a time where we watch a movie and watch movies on Zoom.
Oh.
If we don't feel like driving to each other's houses, we just do
Right. Okay. I didn't know that you could do that on Zoom. Okay. I mean, I know you can share a screen, but I didn't know you could watch a movie. Okay. Very interesting. I will say with Maya, well, let me say this. So I have 3 children. Well, Marcus is grown now. Marcus and Maya are the 2 that I birthed. Freedom is my child by marriage. So I can't speak for Freedom like far, way back. But I know between Marcus and Maya, they were 2 completely different children. So Marcus was very, very good about following the restrictions that I set in place. So until Marcus was 13, he wasn't watching anything above PG. When he got to be 13, we watched PG-13 movies with him to see if they were appropriate, and then from then on. And Maya is her own person that requires my ear to be open. Her door to be open. Yes. Yeah, she's very skillful and creative in finding ways to watch things that are just a little bit. So on her 14th birthday, she's like, I can watch TV 14. Wait a minute, I need to see TV 14 first. So, but anyway, so it's been fun.
Wait, can I answer the question?
Okay, go ahead, Maya. Maya would like to answer that question.
Okay. It depends on who I'm with and what day it is. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Nope. Say more. Who are you with? That it depends.
My parents, obviously.
That's not enough information. Well, when she's with me, she's restricted. We're gonna stop there. All right, moving on. Okay, so Zaria, it's your turn. So let's see what we have. Can you see that, or do you need me to read it for you?
I can read it.
Okay.
I'm 14 and my mom has been teaching me how to drive. She tells me that I'm a good driver and that she can't wait until the day I can go down the street to the store. Sometimes she's too tired to drive when I'm hungry for a takeout. What is the worst that can happen if I just take the car? Ooh, tell them your stories, mother.
Well,
I am a very good child because before I got my license and my own car, I never took their car and just went anywhere. I knew better.
and when I was a teenager, I took my mother's car. And I told Zaria that I did. I like to share the things that some parents don't mind, that they be like, oh, I'm not going to tell my daughter. No, I tell her that because I realized that I made a mistake. And actually, one of my friends had a car accident in the car. But that's,
Yeah. So lesson learned.
Zaria never did that because
Yeah,
I think she learned the lesson from her mom's testimony.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the car. I wouldn't. I feel like nothing's that important for you to have to sneak and take the car to go nowhere. I feel like it could wait. As far as like if you really hungry, that's a different story. I feel like if you hungry, I'm just playing. But no, if you hungry, you can just do Uber Eats. But you can also like it can affect you getting your license and permit in the future. So you really don't want to kind of risk being in the car and then risking the rest of your life not being able to drive. So I would recommend not to do it. But people want to do what they want to do. So.
Well, I know I'm kind of like Zaria. I like to learn from other people's mistakes. So thank you, Zakia, for letting us know what could happen.
Put me on blast. I don't mind sharing with the other teens. Like, don't take your mom's or dad's car. The good thing is that I always had the parking spot because we had a driveway, so they never realized the car was missing until that day when the insurance company contacted them.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a good parent, but these are just some of the stories that I share where I made mistakes at, and I didn't want her to make the same mistakes.
Right. I think that's smart. Yeah, that's very good. Did anybody else have a different response?
I wouldn't take the car.
You wouldn't take the car?
I'm pretty sure I'd be too scared to take the car because I agree completely that nothing's that important. And plus, there's plenty of dangers and things that I don't know, especially at 14. I haven't been sitting in the passenger seat long enough to understand, okay, when mom looks that way or that way, she's checking to see if there's a car here or there. And just like, I don't know how to turn the headlights on. I don't know how to turn the wipers on. I only know how to start the car. That's as far as I'm going to get. I'm going to get in the car, start the car, and then realize, how do I, is this the brake?
Oh, yeah. So we have a few more lessons to go. Okay. Good response. Sydney, Ruther, have you already taken the car?
No.
Nice time to share on the air.
She was just so quiet, and she's like me, so I'm poking at her.
Not in this lifetime, maybe a different one. But my thing is with taking the car. I don't know. I just feel like you gotta be real crazy because my parents, no. But as being the responsible person that I am and growing up, I only driven the car once, and that's when my dad was driving. Where I'm supposed to go? I take the car.
That's funny. Okay. Maya, have you taken the car?
Yep. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
But
she's still here, right? Alive and well. She hasn't taken the car.
No, I haven't taken the car. I've driven the car before though.
Do you have thoughts about that? You've driven what car? My car?
Your car. Yeah.
Where was I?
At work.
Okay, hold on, guys. We need to.
No, I was with Israel.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, we're good now. All right, thank you, Zaria. Let's see, what's the next one? All right, whose turn is it? Maya, it's your turn.
At what age?
Speak up.
At what age should children / people begin being held accountable for their actions? 7.
7?
7.
Why 7?
I don't know. I watched this TV show where this girl went to this guy's daughter's house, and she took something from her whatever this studio, I guess, from this studio, and she stole it. And then a couple of days later, her mom found out, and then she told everybody, and she was the mom's only defense for her daughter stealing the
Whatever
material
it was.
was that she doesn't know any better, or she's just a kid, and like kids can't make decisions, or like I don't know, something stupid. But and she was 7 years old, so I guess 7.
Okay, so you're saying you feel like that 7-year-old should have been held accountable.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else agree or disagree? A different age?
I feel like children. I mean, that was just like a show or whatever. So I mean, if a child is doing that, that's a problem at home. Because kids only do what they're taught or seen. So I feel like 10 is a reasonable age for them to be held accountable for their actions, because now they can think for themselves a little bit more, and they start doing other stuff. So I feel like they should be held accountable when they're 10.
You said 10 or 13?
10.
10. Okay.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, I personally think that a child or a person, I feel like everybody's different, and that they can start as early as they start making decisions. Like hitting another kid with a ball, they can.
Are we frozen or you?
She must be frozen.
Oh, okay. Well, as soon as she comes back, as their connection gets stronger. But it sounds like she was saying as soon as a child is old enough to do something. Are you guys back?
I think so.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Now we can't. Well, so I'll let her talk just so it won't be so much quiet. So just as an early childhood educator and being around children who are as young as 2 and 3, I don't know if this is what you were going to say, Zaria, or not, but I know from being in the classroom with young children that they can be held accountable for their actions and their behavior as early as 2 or 3, as soon as they do something. So held accountable just means that you inform them that their behavior is right or wrong and see that they understand. So as early as they are able to understand the difference between right and wrong is as early as they can be held accountable. Now, I don't mean held accountable in the sense, where they're going to jail or losing, anything major, but that is as early as they can understand. And from my knowledge and experience, as early as 2, but it could be younger than that depending on the child. It might be older than that depending on the child. But I do want to hear what you were going to say, Zaria.
Oh, I was trying to say something related to you. I said that I feel like a child or person that is old enough to make the decisions that they made, like bad decisions, they are able to be held accountable for them. Because like also with me working with kids too, like they're young, they understand what they did is wrong. They just do it anyway. So if you teach them, then they're able to change their actions and not constantly have that same pattern of doing bad things.
Agreed. Okay. We have a question in the chat. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. It says, question for Sydney first, then the other young ladies. So does anybody know who Dana is? Okay, so Sydney M. Okay, so it says, thinking back to before you were a teen and considering now, how has your relationship changed with your siblings?
So she has 3 brothers, a twin brother, an older brother, and a baby brother. 2 years older, 2 years younger.
So my oldest brother Christian, we've definitely gotten closer, and I feel like that kind of because he's immature and mature at the same time. It's a good and bad mix because sometimes he doesn't know when it's the time to be mature. But I feel like our relationship has gotten better because he's matured a little bit more, and because he's annoying to my other siblings a lot. He doesn't bother me.
Okay.
And my little brother's always like, why doesn't he bother you? And Christian goes, she makes me food. So I don't know why he doesn't bother me, but I doubt it's because I make him food. But me and him, we've gotten closer because he's stopped bothering me. And I want to say that I've stopped being annoyed by the little things that he's doing by poking or saying stuff. But my twin, Sebastian, we kind of have had. I wish our relationship was better than it is. We're not as close as I would want us as twins to be. But we definitely are close, and we're not annoying to each other. Like my little brother Samuel, he's super annoying all the time. But he brings out the immature part of me, which is nice, obviously, because it's like, okay, now I get to be a kid and goofy and silly around him. And he's kind of the youth of my relationship with my brothers. Christian's the maturity and the youth. And Sebastian's the he's the person I could be most mature with.
Okay.
So
your twin.
It's our relationship with all my brothers. It has changed since when we were younger. Because when we were younger, we all used to play together, and we when we were young, 5, 6, around that age and younger. My oldest brother Christian wasn't super annoying, but as we got older into 10, we all started kind of. I have the best relationship with them individually, and then Christian and Samuel are not the best because Christian's annoying to Samuel, and Samuel wants to annoy him back. So, and then Christian wants to annoy Sebastian. So yeah, I kind of just started rambling, but our relationship
has gotten better.
Has improved as individual.
I like the way you said that your perception of things has changed because you have matured. So even though they may be doing some of the same things, you are mature, and so it doesn't annoy you as much as it used to. Do any of the other young ladies have siblings? Nope. Sydney's the only one.
Siblings.
You have what, Sydney?
I have 2 siblings. I have a brother and a sister.
You have a brother and a sister. Has your relationship changed at all since before you were a teenager to now?
Yes. I feel like with my little brother, it's days where we have good and bad days. So some days we be like, hey brother, some days we're good and some days we're bad because again with the being mature and the immature. So it's like I'm older, so of course I'm more mature. So it's like some days all he wants to do is play. Some days all he wants to do is just chill. So it's like lukewarm with him. So sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad. With my sister, and speaking for right now, me and my sister are not talking because we have that relationship where sometimes we're good and sometimes we're bad, and the same as with my brother. So with my sister, it's like she's older than me, so and we don't live together, so it's like she's more distant and she's grown up. So as the older she got, the more distant she got. So it's like we 2 different.
What's the
people,
age difference? What's the age difference between you and your sister?
I think she's 17, going on 18 in August.
Okay, and you're 14, so 4 to 5 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, 3 to 4 years. I mean, okay. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, Zaria, you have a sibling. Has your relationship with your sibling changed since before you were a teen until now? You've been a teen for quite some time.
No, for real. Me and my brother always been cool. Like he get on my nerves, but it's kind of normal. I ignore it. So, but me and him type we do things more together than I do with my friends. Like me and him will go like when I drive, when we go around, we go get food every time we get in the car. Like it's not one day that we don't, and it's really bad. But we just go take car rides. We'll go to the mall. Like we just real chill. So we used to argue. We still argue now, but like there's no siblings that don't argue. But like compared to like my other friends' relationships with their siblings, and then me and mine, I really can't. Like he don't really do too much. He just play the games, basketball, and come my room. So he's pretty cool. So it's been the same.
Okay, not much has changed. What's the age difference between you and your brother?
I'm 17. He's 13. What you 10 or 13?
He's sitting over here in the cut. He's like, this is the latest thing.
He's
So
13.
yeah, he's over there in the cut. He's listening though.
Okay, so just 4 years between you two. Okay, and Maya, how you have two brothers, so what's your relationship? Is it different now that you're a teenager from before you were a teenager?
Yes.
What's different? How has it changed?
So for Marcus, he's not here anymore, so I barely see him. But like I guess when we do see each other, it's cool. I guess he's nicer to me since we don't see each other every single day and we don't get on each other's nerves every single day. And for Freedom, I don't know. We have good days and bad days. Sometimes we don't talk, and then sometimes we do. It's weird, but yeah.
Okay, so has that changed or has it always?
Oh
been
yeah, for me and Freedom, when we like first met, we used to hang out all the time. Yeah.
Okay. So you've grown closer to one brother and farther apart from another?
I guess you could say that.
I don't know if it's close or apart, but spending more time together. They're all still close. All right. Let's see. What time is it? Where's my clock?
It's 7.
Okay.
We got 8 minutes.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Maya, it's your turn, right? Did you do that one?
No.
Are you sure? I think you did. I think that was yours. Okay, let me take this.
I don't know.
All right, let's see what we have. Okay. We have. Yeah, because I'm sorry, you guys. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You read that one. Okay, so now it's back to Sydney R. Okay, Sydney, what is the best way to be rewarded for good grades and behavior? In your opinion?
Depending upon my opinion, for good grades, I don't really get rewarded because it's like, growing up, I always had good grades. So it's not like, it's not like a reward anymore. But, we do go to breakfast every Sunday. If we got good grades, we go to breakfast every Sunday. And if I ask her something like, hey, Mom, can I go to the mall? She let me go to the mall if my grades are good. Just more leeway with good grades and good behavior.
Okay. Nice. Anybody else have a different system? Sunny, what's going on with you and Sydney?
You want to speak?
I haven't always had good grades. When I was younger, they were better. And my 7th and 8th grade, they were a lot better. Right now, working on it. It's a work in progress. So me and my mom have had a deal that I could get my hair, like the tips bleached or something, if I had all A's.
Okay.
So
You see is natural color.
on that. Stop.
She didn't get all A's.
Well. So what's not considered good though? Because I think that depends on the parent and the child. So it's different expectations for different children. Sometimes maybe it's not, but I know that with I don't know, Marcus didn't have any trouble getting on the honor roll on a regular basis. Maya has excellent grades, but she works to get those grades. So I just wonder if depending on the child and depending on the relationship between the child and the parent and the expectation, if that's different.
Oh, I have one.
Yes.
I was gonna say, growing up, my dad used to give us money for our grades. So every report card we got, for every A you get is $10. For every B you got was 5. C's, D's, and F's you don't get anything. But that was my motivation up until he stopped when I got in high school. But I just slowly stopped bringing him my report cards. Like I stopped kind of expecting money out of it. And it was more of like, I wanted to get good grades because it's my life. I want to go to college. And I feel like how all you guys are like saying, like, you get good grades. That is great. Keep that up. But high school is definitely a different ball game. So you're going to think that 8th grade, that's slight. 7th grade, slight. High school, freshman year, it's slight. I got good grades all high school. But it do get hard. And sometimes you're going to have to take an L and take a C in the class and not be able to, cry. But you work to get that up. So I just feel like it's more of you getting good grades for you. And knowing that if you start getting good grades freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, it's gonna add up until you getting scholarship money for college. So I just recommend you guys also start getting good grades now, because a lot of my friends said they wish they would have tried freshman year. Like they didn't try. They just was like, it's freshman year, I got sophomore year to do better. Like that was their mindset. But like as far as getting good grades, if you start now, it's definitely gonna be hard though. But I mean, you just work for it, and you guys all seem like you work, so it shouldn't be bad.
You're saying it's worth it. It's worth it to start now. It'll pay off. I like that. So we have another question in the chat, and since we only have 3 minutes left, this is going to be our last question. It says, do you ever think your parents are too strict?
Except for your mom.
Wait, what?
That's right, now though, guys. Like I used to think my mom was strict, like to the max, but they loosen up over time. They gotta shape you, so that's why they push you guys so hard. But like now, I talk to my mom like we're like best friends, but with respect, but like best friends. But like honestly, like I used to get annoyed all the time. I used to stop talking to you guys or get on my nerves type thing. But you just you get used to it.
But you said that in your head, right? Not out loud.
Yeah, definitely. Far away.
Get the belt. No.
It's like, wow, you look really good for a girl with no legs. No. You said that out loud. You ain't got no nothing.
I think as a parent, though, I think, once we raise them, even in the Christian home and just setting boundaries from them initially when they're younger, it helps us to free up a little bit as they get older, because it seems like they make better choices. And so my husband and I thought my husband would be a little bit more stricter too, because Zaria, because she's in high school, but he's a little bit more lenient. But we're just like, we're going to have to let her go, but not like, out far away, but just knowing that the things that we have instilled in her or in both of our children, that we just got to trust God that everything is going to work out. So that's really where we are now, and we believe we've raised great children for them to have the boundaries and the mindset that they have, and we just push them and keep pushing and pushing. And sometimes with being stricter, it's like for us, we felt like it's going to make them, stray away from us. But it seems like they brought us a little bit closer, but it was a little bit with prayer that came in with that as well. We didn't do it without him.
Agreed. I think it's important for the teenagers to understand that we as parents are doing everything that we can. We probably say things a lot of times, and we're not sure what's sticking until you get to that point where you show us what you've heard and what you've learned and what mattered. So, yeah, there is a period, especially now during the teenage years, the freshman, sophomore year in college, where everything we say is annoying because I get looks from Maya that look like, why did you feel like you needed to tell me that, like on a regular basis? But I feel like I need to tell you that because I'm your parent and I'm held accountable if I don't tell you that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just think that's important for teenagers to know because it's not personal. We're not like, we don't think you're stupid. We don't think that you're bad. It's just that there are certain things that as parents we have to do and we have to say. And we don't know if it's working until you're tested and you show that you have gained that wisdom or that knowledge or you've heard what we said. So,
That's right. Time, sis.
Time. Okay. All right. Hold that thought. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to close out. I will say this has been very interesting. I'm working with like multiple screens right now. So I haven't done that before. So I appreciate your patience as I close. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Candid Conversations this evening as we did Teen Talk, our first time doing Teen Talk. I hope that you will tune in again. And make sure you send us questions and scenarios. We still have a lot left. We didn't get to all of them, so we can definitely do this again. I would love to hear your feedback and know what we can do to make it better. But this is Aisha Israel, your laid back, down to earth life coach, reminding you to know and embrace true love because you are worth it. Have a blessed